Hello everyone. I am Nidhi Patel from Srimati Devkiba Mohan Singh Ji Chauhan College of Commerce and Science. Today we are going to learn about Raspberry Pi. So let's start with introduction to Raspberry Pi. What is Raspberry Pi? Raspberry Pi is a single board fully functional computer that is capable of performing almost all the tasks that you are performing with your desktop or laptop systems, like playing music, watching high definition videos, playing video games, documentation, sharing data, taking online lectures, coding, programming, and much more. In the year 2012, Raspberry Pi Foundation has developed this small chip computers with the purpose of encouraging the school students to learn and understand computers. Recently, Raspberry Pi has become very popular, and the reason behind that is its cost. Compared to your desktop or laptop systems, Raspberry Pi is available in very low cost, which makes it very popular and commonly used computers nowadays. As you can see, it is very small in size that you can even hold it in your palm. But don't go into its size, you can even build robots by using Raspberry Pi. See, this is how it looks. As I said earlier, on a single chip, various ports are placed to which you can connect your keyboards, mouse, monitors, cameras, speakers, and then your Raspberry Pi is ready to use. Now, let me explain you about various components of Raspberry Pi, starting with the Broadcom chip. This Broadcom chip consists of two things: CPU, Central Processing Unit, which is responsible behind every task which is performed by Raspberry Pi, and GPU, Graphical Processing Unit, which is responsible for graphics and video related tasks performed by Raspberry Pi. On the backside of Raspberry Pi, you can see there is a micro SD card connector. Now, why do we need an SD card in Raspberry Pi? Because Raspberry Pi does not have any internal memory. So whatever data you are going to store in Raspberry Pi, that will be stored into this SD card. Not only uses data, but also the operating system which works on Raspberry Pi is also stored in micro SD card. So first you have to install the operating system onto the SD card, and then you have to attach it into the Raspberry Pi as shown in the figure. This is the RAM, which is a volatile memory available with Raspberry Pi. These are the USB ports, which makes you enable to connect the keyboard and mouse to your Raspberry Pi, and you can also connect other peripheral devices like printers, scanners to your Raspberry Pi. Next to the USB port is the Ethernet port. If you want to connect your Raspberry Pi to a wired computer network, that is possible through this Ethernet port. All you require is a cable with a RJ45 connector which goes into this Ethernet port, and then your Raspberry Pi is ready to connect with the computer network. If you want to connect your Raspberry Pi with a wireless network, then this radio module is responsible for that. This radio module is having two functionalities: Wi-Fi functionality and Bluetooth functionality. So both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth functionalities are supported by Raspberry Pi. Next to the Ethernet port is the AV jack, which enables you to connect your speakers to the Raspberry Pi, and you are ready to listen to the music. Next to the audio jack, there is a camera connector, which is also known as camera serial interface. But it looks something strange, isn't it? It's because the Raspberry Pi camera itself is different from your regular webcams. See, it's shown in the figure. And when it's connected to your Raspberry Pi, it looks something like this. Next to the camera connector, this is the HDMI port to which you can connect your monitor or television to Raspberry Pi. Next to the HDMI port, this is the power port, which is the mini USB port. Yes, similar to your mini USB power port of mobiles, smartphones. Yes, you are right. You can connect your mobile chargers with Raspberry Pi to provide powers to it. But I would not advise you to do that. You should always use the adapter which are available with Raspberry Pi to provide power to Raspberry Pi. And this is GPIO header, that is General Purpose Input Output Header. This is the most important part of Raspberry Pi because it enables the user to connect so many peripheral devices with Raspberry Pi like LEDs, sensors like humidity sensor, temperature sensor, soil moisture sensor, and much more. It functions at both input and output, and that is why it is known as General Purpose Input Output Header. Now let us see about Raspberry Pi connections. First, you have to connect your keyboard and mouse to the USB ports as shown in the figure. Then you have to connect your monitor or TV to the HDMI port as shown in the figure. Now these are the basic connections which are made. The camera, audio, Ethernet port, all are optional connections which are not required all the time. So after doing the basic connections, let us provide power, and for that we'll connect the power to the USB power port. So this is how it looks when you do the connections. On the right top corner, you can see two LEDs. The red LED shows that Raspberry Pi is getting power, and the green LED shows that it is connected to the network. You can see there is the cable connected to the Ethernet port. Once the Raspberry Pi is getting power, it will switch on automatically as there is no on-off switch into Raspberry Pi. As Raspberry Pi is switched on, you'll get the boot message shown in the figure, and finally you'll see the desktop, the Raspbian desktop. I hope you like my lecture. Thank you for listening. Enjoy working with Raspberry Pi.